Hey everyone, and welcome back to Tech Talk Central.
Yeah, welcome back.
Today we are diving deep into a question we've gotten a lot recently.
A lot.
And that is, which high-end streaming device should you get if you're looking to upgrade?
Should you go for the tried and true Apple TV 4K?
Or is that NVIDIA Shield Pro worth that extra little cost?
Yeah, for sure.
So we've got all the info right here from their product pages on Amazon.
Yep, specs, features, even what people are saying about them.
Our goal is to help you figure out which one is right for you without getting bogged down in all the little details.
You know, cut through the noise.
Starting with the NVIDIA Shield Pro.
Okay, the Shield.
Now, this one is going for about $198 right now.
A little bit pricier, yeah.
And right out of the gate, you're getting all the connectivity you could want. Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, even Ethernet.
You know, some people really prefer that wired connection.
Absolutely. It's more stable.
For sure.
And looking at ports, it's got HDMI, of course, and then 2 USB 3.0 ports.
Now, that's something the Apple TV doesn't have.
Yeah, we'll get to that, but it's worth pointing out because it makes the Shield a bit more versatile right off the bat.
Definitely you can plug in hard drives or other peripherals.
Now, the list of special features is where things get really interesting with the Shield Pro.
Oh, yeah, it's packed.
So we've got Android phone control, a built-in microphone, AI-enhanced upscaling.
That's a big one.
Then there's GeForce NW for cloud gaming, Google Assistant, it works with Alexa, and even has a Plex media server built in.
Wow, it's like a whole entertainment system in a box.
I know, right? It's a lot to unpack.
Well, let's start with that AI upscaling because it's pretty cool.
Okay, yeah, how does that actually work?
Basically, the Shield uses AI to upscale HD content to 4K resolution.
So if you're watching something that's not natively 4K, it can make it look sharper.
Exactly. It analyzes the image and fills in the missing pixels based on what it's learned from tons of other videos.
So it's not just stretching the image, it's actually adding detail.
Right, and from what I've read, it can be pretty impressive.
But is it perfect?
Well, no technology is perfect.
Right.
It works best with high-quality HD sources.
Okay, so if you're watching something that's already really grainy, it might not do much.
Yeah, or if there's a lot of fast motion, you might see some weird artifacts.
Artifacts.
Yeah, like little glitches in the image.
Got it. So it's not a magic bullet, but it can definitely improve the look of some content.
For sure. And for gamers, that GeForce Now W is a big deal.
Cloud gaming is really taken off.
You can basically stream games from a powerful server to your TV.
So you don't need a dedicated gaming PC or console.
Exactly. As long as you have a good internet connection, you're good to go.
That's awesome. But let's get back to the basics.
Okay, the core functionality.
So the Shield Pro supports 4K HDR resolution, which is pretty much the standard for high-end TVs these days.
Yeah, you want that crisp, clear picture.
And in terms of streaming services, it supports pretty much all the major ones.
Netflix, HBO, Vudu Kodi.
Now, I know Kodi is a little different.
It's an open source media player.
So you can use it to play your own video files.
Exactly like if you've ripped your Blu-ray collection or downloaded some movies.
Okay, cool. So it's a bit more versatile in that sense.
For sure. And of course, you've got all the other usual suspects.
Spotify, Amazon Prime Video, Hulu, plus YouTube, even a web browser.
Oh, and Fandango now and ever if you want to rent or buy movies.
So it's pretty comprehensive. You're not going to be missing out on much.
Not at all.
Now, how do you control all of this? The remote looks interesting.
Yeah, it's got a lot going on.
So there's voice control, motion-activated backlighting, customizable menu buttons, and even an IR blaster.
The IR blaster is nice. You can control your TV or soundbar with it.
So you don't need multiple remotes.
Exactly. And my favorite feature, it has a lost remote locator.
Oh, that's so smart. I'm always losing my remote.
Me too. It's a lifesaver.
Now, digging a little deeper into the specs, it has 16 gigabytes of internal storage.
Which is not a ton.
But here's the key. You can expand that with a USB drive.
That's a big plus, especially if you plan on downloading a lot of apps or games.
And it's running on 3 gigabytes of RAM and an NVIDIA Tegra X1 Plus processor.
That's a powerful chip known for its speed and graphics performance.
Yeah, so it should handle pretty much anything you throw at it.
And on the audio and video side, it supports Dolby Vision HDR, Dolby Atmos, and Dolby Digital Plus.
All the latest and greatest audio formats.
Yeah, you're going to get that immersive cinematic sound.
And one interesting tidbit, it even supports Dolby Atmos music through the Tidal app.
So if you're an audiophile, this is definitely a device to consider.
Now, gaming is obviously a big focus with the Shield Pro, thanks to GeForce and Now W.
And it also supports external game controllers via Bluetooth.
So you can really get that console-like experience.
And you can actually play some games directly on the device itself.
Oh, wow. So it's not just for streaming.
Nope. It can handle some lighter gaming on its own.
For smart home integration, it has Google Assistant built in.
And works with Alexa and Google Home devices.
So pretty much covers all your bases there.
Yeah, it's very versatile in that sense.
And to round out the features, we've got Chromecast 4K built in, and that AI upscaling we talked about earlier.
So you can easily cast content from your phone or tablet and improve the quality of older videos.
Okay, so that's a pretty comprehensive overview of the NVIDIA Shield Pro.
A lot to take in.
Now let's see what actual users are saying about it over on Amazon.
Okay, let's get into the real-world experience.
So the general consensus is that it's super fast and smooth.
That powerful processor really seems to make a difference.
And people seem to really like the AI upscaling.
Yeah, but there are some caveats.
Like what?
Well, some users have noticed it can create weird artifacts in certain situations.
Like we talked about earlier with fast motion or grainy footage.
Right, so it's not perfect.
But overall, it seems to be a positive feature.
Definitely. And people really like the interface, too.
Yeah, it's supposed to be very user-friendly.
Easy to navigate and find what you're looking for.
Now, picture quality is another highlight.
Especially once you tweak the settings for Dolby Vision and HDR.
So it sounds like you might need to do a little bit of calibration to get the best results.
Yeah, but that's pretty common with high-end TVs and streaming devices.
Now, the value for money is where things get a little more subjective.
Some people think it's worth every penny.
Especially if you're a gamer or really value those extra features.
But others think it's a bit pricey.
Which is understandable. It's definitely an investment.
But you are getting a lot for your money.
Okay, so the remote is a bit of a mixed bag.
Some people love it, some people hate it.
What are the main complaints?
Well, some users find the design a bit awkward and say it leads to accidental button presses.
Oh, that's annoying.
And surprisingly, there's no dedicated mute button.
Really, for a device this expensive, you'd think they would include that.
It's a strange omission, and there's even a specific process for resetting the remote if it starts acting up.
So you have to hold down certain buttons while inserting the battery.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hassle.
Okay, so not the most intuitive remote design.
Not ideal.
Now, app quality seems to be generally good.
You've got access to all the major streaming services?
But some users have reported issues with specific apps.
And some find the interface a bit dated.
So it's not the most modern-looking device.
But it gets the job done.
Now, one interesting point is that the built-in media player apps aren't that great.
So if you plan on playing your own video files, you might want to look into third-party options.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, and one reviewer called it the strongest Android box they've ever used.
So high praise for its performance and reliability.
Definitely. And another user compared it favorably to the Apple TV in terms of picture quality.
But they said the Shield was better at upscaling lower quality content and removing those CGI artifacts.
Which is a very specific point, but it might be important to some people.
Yeah, if you watch a lot of older movies or TV shows.
Exactly, and audiophiles seem to really love the Shield Pro.
Especially for that Dolby Atmos support and the high-res USB audio output.
So if you have a high-end sound system, this could be a deciding factor.
And finally, security was mentioned as a positive.
Some users appreciate that it runs a more standard version of Android.
Which they feel is better for privacy.
Yeah, that's a growing concern these days.
Okay, so that's the NVIDIA Shield Pro in a nutshell.
Pros and cons all laid out.
Now let's move on to the Apple TV 4K.
The Challenger.
Now this one comes in two flavors.
You've got the 128 Dolby model with Wi-Fi and Ethernet for $189.
And the 64 Dolby model with just Wi-Fi for $169.
So it's a bit cheaper than the Shield Pro.
And that Ethernet option is nice for people who prefer a wired connection.
For sure, stability is key.
So as we mentioned, it's mainly Wi-Fi for connectivity, and the only physical port is HDMI.
No USB here.
No, which is a big difference from the Shield.
You can't expand the storage or connect any peripherals.
So if you need that flexibility, the Shield is the clear winner.
Agreed.
Now the Apple TV 4K, of course, supports 4K resolution, and it has some special features that are really appealing to Apple users.
Like what?
Well, for one, it works seamlessly with other iOS devices.
Yeah, you can use your iPhone as a remote control or easily stream content from your iPad.
And it also acts as a HomeKit hub.
So if you're deep into the Apple ecosystem, this is a great addition.
It can control all your compatible smart home devices.
Lights, locks, thermostats, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, so picture quality-wise, it supports up to 4K with Dolby Vision and HDR10+.
So just like the Shield, you're getting that top-of-the-line HDR experience.
And for streaming services, you've got Netflix, live TV options, Apple TV Plus, of course,
Then there's Prime Video, Disney, plus Hulu, YouTube TV, Sling TV.
plus Apple Music, Apple Arcade for gaming, Apple Fitness Plus, and even the ability to browse your photos.
Wow, so it's a very well-rounded package.
You're not going to be lacking for content.
Not at all.
Now, the remote is the Siri Remote 3rd generation.
Which is a big improvement over older Apple TV remotes.
Yeah, I've heard those were not great.
They were kind of a pain to use.
So this one has a touch-enabled ClickPad, and you can use voice control with Siri.
And like we mentioned, you can also use your iPhone as a remote if you want.
That's pretty cool.
So it's very versatile.
Now, storage-wise, you're looking at either 64 or 128 gigabyte,
And no option to expand it.
so you'll want to factor that into your decision.
Especially if you download a lot of apps or games.
And the Apple TV is powered by their A15 Bionic chip.
Which is the same chip they use in some of their iPhones.
Yeah, so it's a very powerful processor.
Known for its speed and efficiency.
So performance should be buttery smooth.
Absolutely.
For audio, it supports Dolby Vision, HDR10 plus Nizo, and Dolby Atmos, just like the Shield.
So you're getting that same immersive sound experience.
And for gaming, it has access to Apple Arcade.
Which is their subscription gaming service.
It's not quite as robust as GeForce NW, but it does have some high-quality games.
Especially if you're into casual or mobile gaming.
And as we mentioned, it can act as a HomeKit hub for your smart home.
And it also supports Thread mesh networks.
Now, I'm not super familiar with Thread.
It's a newer standard for connecting smart home devices.
Okay, so how is it better than other standards?
Well, it's supposed to be more reliable and use less power.
So it's kind of future-proofing your smart home. Okay, so let's see what Apple TV owners are saying about their experience.
Always good to get that real-world perspective.
So the overwhelming majority of reviews are positive.
People praise it for its ease of use.
Yeah, they say it's super simple to set up and just works.
That classic Apple philosophy.
And the integration with other Apple devices is a big selling point.
Yeah. If you're already invested in that ecosystem, it's a no-brainer.
Now, the interface is described as very intuitive.
Easy to navigate, even for people who aren't tech-savvy.
And the Siri Remote is a major improvement over previous models.
The touch-enabled ClickPad makes it much more precise.
But some users still find it a bit sensitive.
Yeah, you might accidentally swipe too far or click something you didn't mean to.
Okay, so it's not perfect.
But it's a step in the right direction.
Streaming performance is consistently praised.
That A15 Bionic chip really delivers.
Yeah, no lag or buffering.
And the picture quality is stunning.
People rave about the vibrant colors and deep blacks.
And many consider it the best streaming device on the market.
Wow, high praise indeed.
And the seamless integration with other Apple devices is a huge bonus.
You can use AirPlay to stream from your phone or tablet.
Or control everything with your iPhone.
And the voice search with Siri is very convenient.
No more typing in long movie titles.
And the device itself is very compact.
It doesn't take up a lot of space on your entertainment center.
Now, one user said it was a huge upgrade from their old Fire Stick.
That's a common sentiment.
People seem to really appreciate the jump in quality.
Yeah, you definitely get what you pay for.
Now, one interesting critique was that it doesn't have as many detailed video settings as the NVIDIA Shield.
So if you like to really fine-tune your picture, you might be a bit limited.
Okay, so that's the Apple TV 4K, a powerful and polished streaming device.
With a strong emphasis on simplicity and integration.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
2 impressive devices.
Let's try to distill all this down to some key takeaways.
Okay, the big picture.
So both the NVIDIA Shield Pro and the Apple TV 4K support all the latest audio and video formats.
4K, HDR, Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos, you name it.
So you're going to get a fantastic viewing experience with either one.
The picture quality and sound quality are top-notch.
But there are some key differences.
Like what?
Well, the NVIDIA Shield has that expandable storage and those extra USB ports.
Which the Apple TV lacks.
So if you need that flexibility, the Shield is the clear winner.
Especially if you have a lot of local media or want to connect peripherals.
The Shield also has that AI-enhanced upscaling and GeForce Now W cloud gaming.
Which are pretty unique features.
Yeah, if you watch a lot of older content or you're a gamer, those are big pluses.
But if you're deeply entrenched in the Apple ecosystem, the Apple TV has some serious advantages.
Yeah, the seamless integration with other Apple devices is really impressive.
And it's incredibly user-friendly.
Now, both remotes have their pros and cons.
The Siri remote is much improved, but that touchpad can be a bit sensitive.
And the Shield remote has a lot of features, but the design's a bit clunky and there's no mute button.
So neither one is perfect.
But at the end of the day, both of these are excellent streaming devices.
It really comes down to your individual needs and priorities.
Are you a gamer? Do you need expandable storage? Are you an Apple or Android person?
These are the questions you need to ask yourself.
If you want a more open and customizable experience with extra connectivity options and gaming capabilities, the NVIDIA Shield Pro might be the way to go.
But if you prioritize simplicity, seamless Apple integration, and a polished, user-friendly interface, the Apple TV 4K could be a better fit.
So there's no easy answer.
It's all about finding the right tool for the job.
So what does this all mean for you? Hopefully this deep dive has given you some clarity as you consider your next streaming device.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of information, but ultimately the decision is yours.
Each device offers a compelling set of features, and the ideal choice really hinges on your specific needs and the ecosystem you're already a part of.
Think about what features are most important to you.
Is it gaming, smart home integration, ease of use, or advanced video processing?
Once you know what you're looking for, the decision should be a lot easier.
To find the latest prices and deals, be sure to check out the links in the description below.
And if you found this comparison helpful, please subscribe to our channel Tech Talk Central for more in-depth tech discussions.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.